Sometimes the emotions would win, and then sometimes we would win. There's always back and forth between the emotions.
Chaka Khan is not merely a music legend. Behind the dazzling stage lights lies an untold secret. 8 queer actresses she intensely disliked, individuals with whom she had clandestine, silent relationships. Some names, like Diana Ross and Whoopi Goldberg, are icons known worldwide. But what about the others? Who are they? The story between them and Chaka will undoubtedly leave you breathless with its inexplicable complexity and contradictions. What profound secrets have been concealed for so many years? Were these relationships truly just friendships, or was there something far deeper beyond what the public ever knew? This narrative doesn't just delve into the private lives of these stars. It unveils a world brimming with profound emotions that only those intimately involved could ever comprehend. Their hidden animosity or concealed affection, was it truly an unspeakable secret? But remember to like, comment, and subscribe before delving into the full revelation. Chaka Khan may arguably be one of the most powerfully influential artists in music history, but behind the stage lights, could she truly be the person we imagine? Long hidden secrets, stories never told, continue to lurk in the shadows. One such story, which few dare to mention, is Chaka's tumultuous relationship with Diana Ross. Diana Ross, the undisputed Queen of Soul, forged an unshakable position in music and stands as an icon of the 20th century. Yet few realize that during those years, the relationship between Diana and Chaka raised more questions than it provided answers. Every time the two appeared together, the entire world was captivated. They might have been friends, they might have been colleagues, but was there something more profound behind the stage lights? Their connection was not merely one of friendship or professional collaboration. It might have run far deeper. Rumors emerged long ago, suggesting they shared private, secretive moments that could only be understood through the eyes of those intimately involved. Chaka Khan and Diana Ross were always in the spotlight together, their chemistry undeniable. Everyone witnessed their harmony, but did anyone truly know what transpired behind that dazzling facade? For figures like Diana Ross, where every gesture is scrutinized, every glance can become the subject of intense curiosity. It's no surprise that her relationships were constantly examined. However, the bond between Diana and Chaka was not confined to public photographs or performances. Stories of long nights in the studio, private moments when they exchanged thoughts on life and music, all remained veiled beneath a facade of professional respect. But what was the reality? No one has ever confirmed nor denied those rumors. Everything was merely passed by word of mouth, and over the years, it gradually became an integral part of a musical narrative that no one could erase. People whispered that in Diana Ross's world, everything had to be flawless, from her attire to the lighting to how she meticulously maintained her public image. But did Diana perhaps strive to conceal a deeper truth, a part of her life she wished not to share with the public? The story of Diana and Chaka is but a small piece of a larger tapestry depicting renowned black artists in the music industry. Individuals who grappled not only with their careers, but also with societal prejudices, with personal sorrows they could not openly express. Societal impositions regarding gender identity and how they were expected to live and love inflicted deep wounds. For individuals like Diana and Chaka, publicly acknowledging a same-sex relationship, even as a rumor, could entail immense risks to their careers, reputations, and public perception. Yet in the shadows, beneath those very stage lights, perhaps both Chaka and Diana sensed the truth they could not utter. They were both torn between the profound yearning for love and the immense pressures of society. One can only observe that throughout their long careers, those moments, though never publicly acknowledged, persisted like indelible marks. Whether true or not, those emotions undoubtedly left a profound imprint on both their hearts, and perhaps they were an indispensable part of the journey of these powerful women. Therefore, the story between Diana and Chaka Khan remains an enduring enigma. Those who have heard of their connection, who witnessed that peculiar bond, can never forget those perplexing yet powerful moments. A friendship, a deeper relationship, or a concealment of unexpressible emotions? No one knows for certain, but one thing is clear. There are connections between two individuals that the entire world perceives, yet no one dares to speak of. And in the music world, no relationship was as steeped in mystery and emotion as that between Chaka Khan and Whitney Houston. They stood side by side, yet the atmosphere between them was always peculiar, filled with hesitant moments that everyone sensed, but no one dared to voice. It was said that their friendship was not easily discernible. Chaka Khan and Whitney Houston, two illustrious names, not only achieved monumental success in music, but also stood as symbols of strength and liberation. But when these two women stood together, there was an unsettling silence that everyone could feel, as if something remained unsaid, something they could not allow the world to know. Whitney and Chaka always had an unspoken understanding. Not promises, not eloquent declarations, just a mutual understanding that needed no words, and the silence between them seemed to speak volumes. Rumors that their relationship was not merely friendship, but a deeper connection spread over the years. It was whispered that though never publicly acknowledged, they shared a special empathy, a bond that only they truly understood. Long nights spent together when these two women found solace in secret conversations, moments when they closed their eyes and simply remained quietly by each other's side. Some recounted that when Whitney felt overwhelmed by life's pressures, Chaka was the very first person she sought out. It was a connection that no words could fully express. It is certain that they never allowed anyone to truly know what transpired between them. But one thing is undeniable. Everyone witnessed the profound strength and genuine friendship these two women shared. However, the very way they maintained silence about that relationship compelled people to speculate. And sometimes that very silence was the clearest answer. The moments they shared, the knowing glances, all affirmed that their bond was not as simple as it appeared. The peculiar thing is that this relationship was never officially acknowledged, and some believe that both Chaka and Whitney knew that publicly revealing it could harm their careers and public images. The showbiz world constantly thrust these talented women into a relentless battle against prejudice and pressure. If they exposed anything beyond what the public saw, could they maintain the image they had meticulously built for so long? They had to be meticulous in every step, every word, which is why their bond, however profound, had to be concealed. Yet the story became even more ambiguous when industry insiders revealed that Whitney herself had spoken of her understanding with Chaka in a very different way, in the manner of someone who felt no need to explain. "We always got each other without needing to say a word," a friend of Whitney's once shared. And not just once, Chaka also stated that only Whitney could make her feel that she was never alone on that challenging musical journey. However, the narratives surrounding this friendship were not always smooth. Things were not always serene, and at times there were silent disagreements, unspoken conflicts that caused them to drift apart, even if only temporarily. When Whitney Houston encountered storms in her career, Chaka couldn't help but feel that tension. Some said that during times when Whitney was challenged by work pressures or personal life, Chaka was the only one who could bring her peace. But there were also moments when the suffocating realities of life prevented them from maintaining that relationship as before. Nevertheless, the rumors about this relationship persisted. It was said that, despite arguments, despite moments of silence, their bond was never broken. They always maintained a connection that no one else could comprehend. Those around them might speculate endlessly, but no one could reach a definitive conclusion. That relationship, though implicitly understood, left a profound imprint on the hearts of all who witnessed the magic that only these two powerful women could create. The entire world recognizes Whoopi Goldberg with her radiant smile and sharp, insightful gaze as a cinematic icon. But few know that beneath the dazzling stage lights, Whoopi shared a relationship with Chaka Khan that even those closest to them couldn't fully comprehend. It wasn't an overt relationship, not something easily discernible, but something far more intricate, fraught with complexities that only those intimately involved could grasp. They were two formidable personalities, one a black music icon, the other a woman who fearlessly shattered every boundary in the film industry. They met during their glorious years, and whenever they appeared together, the public's curious gaze remained fixed upon them. There were moments of profound intimacy when they shared small stories, gentle smiles, yet all was enveloped by an enigmatic silence. Rumors of this relationship circulated for a long time, but no one ever confirmed or denied them. People only knew that something was amiss between them, something concealed beneath a glamorous facade. Whoopi was always ahead of her time, and her connection with Chaka remains a mystery. This was a statement a friend of theirs once shared in conversation when asked about the unique bond between these two remarkable women. That statement was not merely an acknowledgement of what the public observed, but also a glimpse into a relationship no one dared to speak of. One undeniable truth remains: their connection, however meticulously hidden, was always a significant part of both their lives. It was said that the relationship between Chaka Khan and Whoopi Goldberg was never as simple as people imagined. Whether friends or colleagues, there were likely moments when they simply couldn't conceal their true emotions. In a world that constantly forces individuals into molds, were they perhaps too complex to live authentically? Was that why they always had to maintain a certain distance, unable to truly cross the boundary? Whispers of a romantic relationship between Chaka Khan and Whoopi Goldberg began to surface in the 1980s when both were major stars. Parties, shared travels, long nocturnal conversations all created an intimate yet highly discreet atmosphere. Everything felt like a film in which only they were the protagonists. Some claimed that this relationship endured for many years, though no one dared to publicly acknowledge it. The rumors suggested they shared profound conversations, moments of intimacy witnessed by few, but then everything remained silently in their memories. This relationship was not uncommon in a showbiz world perpetually filled with secrets and unspoken truths. Talented, powerful women like Whoopi and Chaka faced immense pressure not only from society, but also from the very expectations they placed upon themselves. For them, freedom in love was perhaps never an easy pursuit. They had to conceal those emotions, to protect their careers, to safeguard the image the public had meticulously constructed for them. Even now, many cannot clearly explain this relationship. The way Chaka Khan and Whoopi Goldberg always exchanged knowing glances, the way they shared not only about music and film but also about life, left people utterly perplexed. But ultimately, no one dared to ask. Everything simply unfolded, like an unfinished story, much like their relationship itself, always shrouded in a hazy mist, impenetrable to clear sight. The rumors about them continue to spread, but no one can definitively state the truth. And thus, the relationship between Chaka Khan and Whoopi Goldberg will forever remain a mystery, a story that only those intimately involved truly comprehend, and only they know all that transpired between these two immensely talented women. Ellen DeGeneres has always been a captivating television star, renowned not only for her immense talent, but also for her courageous decision to openly embrace her sexual orientation. She was a trailblazer in reshaping perceptions of the LGBTQ+ community within the entertainment industry. But few realize that behind her brilliant career, a deeply enigmatic relationship existed between her and Chaka Khan, a narrative the media never truly had the opportunity to fully explore. This was not due to a lack of curiosity, but likely because both women decided to keep this profound bond in the shadows. From the very beginning, as Ellen began to garner attention with her humorous and relatable broadcasts, a peculiar dynamic became evident. She and Chaka Khan, a queen of soul music, consistently shared meaningful glances at parties or red carpet events. They didn't need many words, just a look was enough for people to sense something extraordinary between them. It wasn't a simple friendship, nor merely a professional collaboration. It was a strange connection that compelled profound contemplation. Rumors circulated that the relationship between Ellen and Chaka transcended mere professional understanding or shared mundane life stories. Ellen and Chaka's bond was electric, yet always kept under wraps. Everything remained meticulously concealed, even though these two women could not disguise the genuine emotions they harbored for each other. The way they consistently found comfort and connection, whether in private moments or under the glare of stage lights, made it impossible not to suspect something far deeper behind those encounters. Everything unfolded naturally, without any official acknowledgement from either party. But the moments they shared on stage or exchanged glances created questions that the media never truly had the chance to fully investigate. Their joint photographs invariably stirred public discussion, yet no one dared to ask direct questions. Perhaps it was because in an industry so focused on image, publicly revealing a special relationship between two powerful and celebrated women like Chaka and Ellen was something no one truly wished to clarify. It is certain that both Ellen and Chaka profoundly understood the public scrutiny directed at their private lives. In the world of major stars, caution is paramount, but perhaps it was precisely this caution that rendered their relationship even more enigmatic. Everything was kept secret, yet rumors ceaselessly spread. It was whispered that during the most stressful periods of her career, when Ellen faced difficulties or immense pressure, Chaka was the one she sought for solace and shared worries that no one else could comprehend. And stories of their long conversations, the moments they shared seeking peace amidst the world's clamor, remain forever unknown to outsiders. However, one undeniable truth remains. A connection consistently existed between Ellen and Chaka that only they truly comprehended. Everything seemed meticulously concealed, but the profound empathy and understanding between these two women were undeniable. During those years, as Ellen navigated the immense challenges of publicly embracing her identity and battling public pressure, Chaka's presence helped her feel more grounded. And conversely, Chaka, always strong and resilient, also found a peculiar kinship with Ellen, someone who also struggled to live authentically. Yet it cannot be denied that tension always existed within this relationship. Despite their mutual understanding, keeping everything shrouded in silence was far from easy. When they appeared together publicly, everyone sensed that underlying tension, a tension not due to the nature of their relationship, but because they had to keep a part of themselves in the shadows, away from curious eyes. However much they might have wished otherwise, they could not fully step out of the protective shell society had placed upon them. Angela Bassett has always been known as a powerful, talented, and proud woman in the film industry. She can command admiration with just a glance or a single line of dialogue. But what few realize is that the relationship between Angela and Chaka Khan was far from a simple friendship. Behind their collaborations and joint appearances, there was a unique connection that only those intimately involved could truly sense. And of course, like so many other enigmatic stories, there were countless unspoken elements. Everything was kept in silence, yet undeniably, those emotions carried a weight that could not be easily erased. Their collaboration began when Angela Bassett was chosen to portray Tina Turner in the film What's Love Got to Do With It?, a cinematic masterpiece that etched her into film history. At that time, Chaka Khan was already a tremendously renowned name in music, and their relationship blossomed with a peculiar naturalness. But their connection extended far beyond professional work. Every time Angela and Chaka appeared together, their bond was palpably evident through subtle glances and gentle smiles that no one could easily explain. It was a relationship that sparked immediate speculation. Could there be something deeper than ordinary friendship between them? Angela Bassett's quiet strength matched perfectly with Chaka's fiery spirit. This was a remark from a mutual friend who witnessed this extraordinary synergy. Chaka Khan was always effervescent in every conversation, brimming with passion and fervor, while Angela maintained a profound composure. Yet it was precisely that serenity that made their exchanges extraordinarily captivating. That relationship was not always effortless, but it was rich with inexpressible moments. Rumors about this relationship began to circulate immediately upon the release of What's Love Got to Do with It? Several insiders in the entertainment industry recounted that during filming, the bond between Angela and Chaka transcended mere friendship. Some claimed that when Angela faced life's profound difficulties, Chaka was the sole person she trusted to confide in. This only intensified public curiosity about their relationship because in the world of showbiz, few relationships between two powerful women like them could harbor such profound and authentic emotions. No one can definitively confirm whether anything beyond the bounds of friendship existed between Angela and Chaka. However, some within the entertainment circles suggested that their relationship was something they simply could not reveal publicly. A true friendship, yet also laden with unexpressed emotions, a bond that only these two women could fully comprehend. Their long conversations about life, their private moments of sharing in quiet spaces, all remained exclusively their own. And this comes as no surprise, as both Angela and Chaka were colossal stars in the music and film industries, and they understood better than anyone that everything surrounding them was perpetually viewed through a different lens. Every gesture, every glance could become the subject of intense discussion, so they had to meticulously maintain this relationship at a certain level of discretion. But perhaps it was precisely that silence, that very guardedness, that made everything more special than ever before. The profound connection between Angela and Chaka Khan is not an easily decipherable relationship. Outsiders only observed them together as close friends, but within their hearts, things were likely far more intricate. The unspoken emotions, the implicitly understood moments between these two women, render their story mysterious and profoundly intriguing. Laverne Cox has always been a radiant star in the entertainment world, renowned for her pivotal role in Orange is the New Black and becoming a powerful icon within the LGBTQ+ community. But few realize that beneath the stage lights and amidst the clamor of the showbiz world, Laverne and Chaka Khan shared a peculiar relationship, an inexplicable connection that both meticulously kept private. This was not a flamboyant or public romance, but a silent bond that compelled profound questions. Could this be a deeper affection than what meets the eye? Some whispered that at private gatherings, Laverne and Chaka always sought to discreetly navigate the crowd, exchanging knowing glances that no one else could decipher. A few close friends even asserted that during the most challenging periods of her life, Chaka was the person Laverne turned to, like a devoted friend or even someone always ready to lend a listening ear to her most intimate confidences. Though they never publicly acknowledged it, those conversations, those moments, became an integral part of both their lives. This relationship is not easily explained, precisely because their immense fame precluded truly private moments. People could only observe them exchanging glances, shaking hands at events, but no one could delve into the deeper narrative within. Their story, if it existed as speculated, was entirely concealed. Both understood that, in their world, publicly acknowledging a same-sex relationship or a romantic connection could lead to profound repercussions. And perhaps it was precisely for this reason that they chose to keep everything in the shadows. A relationship that never had a name, never had a public affirmation. Nevertheless, whispers of affection between Chaka and Laverne never ceased. Some believed that their connection transcended mere friendship or mutual admiration. Industry insiders recounted that a very special synergy existed between these two women, a profound empathy and understanding that not everyone could perceive. While nothing was certain, a noticeable presence was always felt whenever Laverne and Chaka appeared near each other, whether on stage or in their private lives. In the entertainment industry, where every gesture and action is intensely scrutinized, Chaka Khan and Laverne Cox forged a relationship whose true nature no one could definitively ascertain. The whispers of affection, the deeply understanding glances between them, all evoke a profound question. Could this relationship, though unacknowledged, be one of the most powerful connections either had ever experienced? Was this nameless affection truly love, or merely a profound empathy between two women who found solace in each other within a challenging and pressure-filled world? When people speak of Janet Jackson, they remember a pop queen, an indelible icon in the hearts of fans. But few realize that behind that dazzling aura lay a complex relationship with Chaka Khan, a connection that, without unusual signs, might have been forgotten in the shadows. Their bond was not merely the connection of two artists, it was a story that the public constantly sought to decipher, though no one dared to officially confirm it. Since the 1980s, when Janet Jackson began to shine with her hit songs, rumors of an ambiguous relationship between her and Chaka Khan emerged. What drew people's attention was that not everyone understood their closeness. Their meetings, their public appearances together, sometimes made people wonder, did they share a special connection beyond their professional work? Was their friendship as simple as everyone believed? This relationship was never publicly acknowledged, and thus it always existed in the shadows, like a meticulously guarded secret. Janet and Chaka's connection was a well-kept secret, hidden in plain sight. These rumors circulated within the entertainment industry, and it seemed no one truly dared to delve too deeply into the truth. There were times they stood together, exchanging meaningful glances, yet both maintained absolute silence, revealing not a shred of information. People wondered if their connection ran deeper than that. Some recounted that during the years Janet Jackson was at the peak of her career, Chaka Khan was one of her closest confidants. But it wasn't just a simple friendship. They spent time together, not merely at parties or late-night conversations, but also in moments where they shared unutterable emotions. However, they never allowed the world to know. And perhaps that is why this relationship became an enigma, leaving people unable to explain it. Everything became even more complex when industry insiders began to whisper about the special bond between Chaka and Janet. Some believed that there was a romantic element to their relationship, but because both were major stars in the music world, no one dared to speak of it. A few sources recounted that in those years, when Janet faced challenges in her career, Chaka was always by her side, listening and sharing worries that no one else could comprehend. They were always there, like a steadfast wall in each other's lives. But the story was never officially confirmed, and perhaps that is why their relationship remains a secret everyone desires to know, but no one has the courage to ask about. Whenever they appeared together, the glances they exchanged held meanings the public couldn't decipher. It wasn't because they didn't want to make their relationship public, but because the world couldn't accept them as they truly were, as individuals beyond the roles they had been assigned. This world cherishes perfect images, and sometimes that very perfection conceals profound truths we cannot see. It is said that the relationship between Janet and Chaka Khan is one that the public will forever be unable to fully grasp, a secret that will perhaps never be revealed. But regardless, the moments they shared, the glances filled with affection and empathy, are things only they truly understand. And perhaps that is the most valuable truth in this relationship. No need for public acknowledgement, no need for explanation. Just mutual understanding is enough. It was a connection no one could break, not because of their fame, but because of the silent empathy they shared. Everything else might be concealed, but that profound affection persisted, strong and undeniable. The relationship between Janet Jackson and Chaka Khan is a story that, though never officially confirmed, remains an indispensable part of both their lives. Tessa Thompson and Chaka Khan. One, a rising star in the film industry. The other, a music legend. The world perceived them as powerful icons, but few realized that an inexplicable relationship existed between them. Not a simple friendship, not an obvious romance, but a bond that was both mysterious and intense, lingering in the shadows with no one daring to offer an explanation. The narrative began with their serendipitous joint appearances, seemingly brief moments that nonetheless harbored a wealth of emotion. People couldn't help but notice the peculiar harmony between them, from their gazes to their subtle gestures. Yet these moments remained an unanswered riddle. Neither Tessa nor Chaka ever publicly acknowledged this connection, but that very discretion only deepened the speculation. Could a silent, profound bond exist between them, deeper than what met the eye? Everything became clearer during their joint appearances at significant events. The way they stood close, exchanging deeply meaningful glances, yet without uttering a single word, compelled people to envision an inexpressible connection. To outsiders, it merely appeared to be the casual closeness of good friends. But for the more discerning, it was clear that something profound existed between them that the public could not grasp. Rumors about Tessa and Chaka's relationship began to spread after their joint appearances on red carpets, where attention is always intensely focused on stars. However, instead of ostentation, both chose to maintain silence, as if they knew there was no need to explain what transpired between them. Some industry friends suggested that their relationship was something only they could comprehend, and it didn't need to be shared with anyone else. Everything remained held within their hearts, like a deep connection that required no outward display. Yet those glances, those gentle hand touches, those lingering looks, undeniably suggested something special existed between them. The pervasive rumors surrounding this relationship only rendered it more enigmatic and perplexing than ever before. Some speculated that a unique empathy always existed between Tessa and Chaka, as if they could understand each other without needing to exchange a single word. This only amplified public curiosity. No one could confirm or deny it, but everyone could sense the powerful connection between them. And that is precisely why this relationship continues to captivate, despite never being officially acknowledged. The profound silence between Tessa and Chaka, their unspoken understanding, is like a treasured gift whose value only they truly comprehend. Thus, Chaka Khan's enigmatic relationships with these monumental figures in music and film remain stories never fully told. Whether meticulously concealed or never officially confirmed, the silent connections between her and these legendary women have invariably sparked endless curiosity, compelling us to ponder their true nature. A friendship, a relationship beyond spoken words, yet brimming with emotion and depth, has become a collection of secrets known only to those intimately involved. These narratives not only command attention, but also evoke profound reflection on the untold truths hidden in the shadows. The moments behind the stage lights, though never publicly acknowledged, have nonetheless left an indelible mark on the hearts of admirers. If you wish to explore more compelling and mysterious stories like these, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for our next videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey.